but we went there, and I went there together with a friend of mine, Sidi. She's also a student in this university, and we followed our quick scan, and we looked at their lightings, we looked at how they're managing their PCs, and even in the STA, there were some small things that we found. For example, one of the owners had this really old vintage audio system. He was using it to play music as a background. And I was really interested in it because I have some background in audio, and I approached the system and said, oh, it's a really cool system. And then we measured it. And it really consumed like 10 times more than just putting an iPod, a small thing, to play music. And that wasn't very efficient, but just a small example. We also went to more offices. We also went to a restaurant. It's called Arain Sarbash. It's in the Castle district in Buda. And that was a little bit different because it's a restaurant, and they have everything that's going on in the kitchen. And approaching a kitchen and making a kitchen eco-friendly is very tricky. There's a lot of waste that's being produced in a restaurant, and there's also a lot of energy. And we sort of discussed with the chef what kind of activities they can do to reduce their impact, because they were complaining that they were having high bills, and they didn't really know what to do about it. And yes, we went there, and just by being there, we saw that how everyone really was leaving the tap of the water open and just walking away, or when they were cooking, they were just using the gas stoves and just walking away, and the gas just stays there for a while until someone else comes and shuts it off. And they have a lot of fridges, because refrigerating is very important in a restaurant for the products. And they had really big ones and small ones, and you can see the different kind of materials or problematic things in the refrigerators on the doors, and also the fact that they had a really big refrigerator that was just empty, and it was still working. So you have to know why do you use it, why do you operate it. It's completely empty. Just take it out. We gave them some advices on. They actually implemented some LED lighting in the bar area behind. And another example of a solution in the restaurant. It's a problem. That restaurant has heating, and they are paying and producing a lot of heating that goes to waste, because the heating radiators are covered by these wooden cabinets. And we said, well, why don't you remove the cabinets, because they're really absorbing all the heat, and it's not heating enough. You have to heat more and more and more, and in the winter it's really cold, so it's even more. And they say that they cannot remove it because the building, it's protected by the local government, and they don't allow them to remove them. So it's a problem, and we couldn't find a solution yet. They just don't allow it. It's in the Castle district, and this restaurant is built. I think it started to operate as a restaurant in the 1800s or something like that. So that was protected, and that's still a problem. So we don't know how to solve it. We promised that we will go back the next year to see maybe if we can speak with the authorities. And we had more examples. We went to a couple more offices, one in the second district and one here on Radek, which is an architecture firm. And just small things they had this meeting room. It's a small room and really small table. It's not like a big, but they had this light show in their meeting room, and they're not even using it, and they're leaving it on, and we just said as an example, well, why don't you just use one big light and just get rid of all the lights, because it's really not needed, and it's only there because someone else put it there before, and then it just stays there, so they just use it. And by the way, they don't shut the lights off, they just leave the meeting room and all the lights just stay off. So, okay, first of all, just please shut the lights off when you leave the room, and second thing, maybe it's a little more wise to just get rid of those lights and just put one light, and we can make a suggestion, go to that shop and buy this light, and it costs that much. and it can save you. We can calculate based on the watts that are registered on the light bulbs. With an average time per day that they are using the lights, you can actually calculate for them how much they are paying for it, based on the local rates of the energy from the energy company. And they can see how much they can save. So they buy a lamp, it costs, 10,000 forints, but they can save 200,000 by the end of the year. So it's a worthwhile small investment, and it makes a difference because they're just using less energy. So these are the examples that come up when we're visiting companies. And more, I think from what I've noticed now, PC management is the most attractive way to reduce energy consumption in a company. The way that employees use their PCs and the way that they don't shut them down when they go home. Because when a company finishes up work at 5, 6, 7 p.m. in the evening, the PCs, they are staying there working, but they're not being used. And when you have a small company of 10 people, it's a smaller impact. But when you have 100 people, it's 100 PCs and they're just working all the time. If you shut them down, you can calculate all the hours during the night where the PCs are not operating. You can easily measure all the PCs with small devices that measure their consumption. If you accumulate that all throughout the year, it's not only a substantial saving, it's really an impact on energy use. So just a small habit of employees in a policy of a company, please shut down your PCs when you go home. You can make an impact. And they don't do it not because they don't care, they're just not aware of it. So it's all about awareness and it's all about management and policy. And once employees know more about it, they react. And they understand that shutting down the PC is the same as making your coffee in the morning. It's there. So these